I work at a gas station in rural Pennsylvania. It's a boring job, but it pays easy and pays alright. A few weeks ago, this new guy started. I'll call him Jeremy. Jeremy's weird. He's about 25 or 26 and he hardly speaks, but he got the creepiest laugh I've ever heard. My boss and I have noticed this, but it's never been a problem, so there was not much we can do about it. Customers have never complained about him, and he's always done his job fairly well. Up until a few weeks ago, anyway, that when things started going missing. Employees theft can be a problem at any business that sells customer goods. And there's only one person working at a time at this gas station. It's a pretty small place. About 2 weeks ago, my boss started noticing that we were short on motor oil. At first, it was a few containers at time, but entire shelves and boxes from the back room. Pretty soon, an entire shipment would be gone the day after we got them, and it will always be right after Jeremy's shift. My boss has checked the security cameras tapes from every single night he worked, but he could have never catch him and act. Jeremy would lock up clothing, then motor oil would be gone the next day. My boss usually takes the tapes home with him and try to catch Jeremy stealing, but his daughter had a softball game last night, so he asked me to watch the tapes for him. So, you just want me to watch the tapes?
Yeah, just watch the tape till I get back.
He offered me to pay me overtime under the table, so obviously I took that offer. There are 3 cameras, so he gave me 3 different tapes to check. I figure it will be a long night, but I'm trying to save up for a vacation, so really I needed the money. I took the tapes home and popped them in the old VCR and sat back. 2 days ago, the last time he worked, Jeremy started at 4 p.m. Everything seemed pretty normal at first. He counted up his drawer, switched off with the girl who was working before him, and waited for a customer. The first person who came in was Mrs. Templeton. Templeton was on the video read 403. A regular she picked up with her cigarettes and a newspaper and paid with a 20. Nothing usual there. The next customer was some local guy named Ron. He drives a motorcycle, usually comes in a few every days. He filled up his tank, got a bag of beef jerky, paid with his credit card, and then left. Next was some guy in a cowboy hat. I never seen him before, but we get plenty of strangers passing through, just like any gas stations. He got $40 worth of diesel fuel, paid with the $100 bill, and went on his way. I sat back inside. The only thing was boring than doing this job is watching someone else do it. My boss' offer was enough to keep me watching though, so I left the tape on. Everything seemed normal. I had a feeling that if Jeremy was stealing motor oil, he knew we were suspicious of him by now. I didn't expect him to be dumb enough to let us catch him on camera. Things stayed boring and routine until about 5 o'clock. At 5:03, Mrs. Templeton came back in. She must have forgotten something, but she didn't. She bought the same pack of cigarettes as before and the same newspaper. She paid with another 20. That's odd, I thought. But then again, she's kind of absent-minded. I thought Jeremy should have told her already she got her smokes, but it's not against the rules to sell somebody the same thing twice. That's when Ron came back in again. He bought another tank of gas for his motorcycle again. I later checked the outdoor camera because I thought maybe he had another car he wanted to fill up. and the same pack of beef jerky. He paid with his credit card again. No big deal. I figured this was just a weird coincidence. Mrs. Templeton is forgetful, and Ron probably owns more than one Harley. That's when the guy with the cowboy hat came back in. I felt a chill run down my spine. Don't get diesel, I found myself whispering in my empty living room. But he did. He got $40 worth of diesel fuel and paid with another $100 bill. Every move he made was identical his first visit. Right down to the way he scratched his nose before he walked out. Either this guy's rich or owns a lot of trucks, or just moves into town, or something really bizarre was happening. I kept watching. Every customer for the next hour was the same as before. Every single one was. I was seriously freaking out. And then at 6:03, Mrs. Templeton walked in. She bought her cigarettes and newspaper again, and paid with the 20. I thought I was going to lose it. I was only watched another half hour before I started fast forwarding before the rest. It was all of the same. Every customer would come in at the exact same times, exactly 1 hour apart. Now, I know what y'all saying. That sneaky son of a bitch Jeremy had messed up the tapes. He had to run a loop of his first hour of his business over and over. That wasn't the case though. There was windows around the cash register area that the camera covers, and I watched the sunlight fade as time ran out. Jeremy's routine didn't loop over. He kept mopped and restocked and did all his duties exactly how you would expect. But the same customers kept coming in. I was panicking at this point. Something was seriously wrong with what I was seeing. I had no explanation for it. I skipped ahead to when he locked up and walked out to his car. He hadn't stolen anything, but I kept watching just to make sure I was fast forward one last time to about midnight. At exactly 12:03, out of nowhere, Jeremy's face popped up on camera. I don't mean he moved his head into the view. I mean that 1 second the store was empty. The next second his face was all you could see. He wasn't looking at the camera. He was looking at me. I was sure of it. I screamed out and fumbled for the remote. By the time I grabbed it, he was gone. Just as soon as he had left. One frame he was there, the next he wasn't. My hand was shaking like crazy, but I popped in another tape. The other indoor camera shows the back area by the cash register, and I was able to see how he got up to show his face on the camera like that. I skipped ahead to 12:03, but there was nothing. I would have been able to see him standing on a chair or something on his tape, but he wasn't there. I didn't see him either. The store was at all after he left. It wasn't really there. He doesn't know the security code, and no alarms were triggered that night after he's locked up. What I did see, however, at 12:03, the motor oil vanished off the shelf. All of it. Same as Jeremy's face. 1 second it was there, the next second it wasn't. I turned off that tape off and went to bed. But I didn't get a week of sleep. My body was exhausted right now, but my mind is racing. That tape was undoubtedly the creepiest, most disturbing thing I have seen in my life. I worked in a few hours. My boss asked me to bring the tapes in and let me know what I found. But really, what the fuck am I going to say? Jeremy worked the night shift tonight, directly after me. After the plan is for my boss to come in just before I leave to comfort him with him, as I supposed to be the one who caught him stealing. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I'm supposed to I suppose I have to show my boss the tapes, but I don't want to watch it with him. I never want to see something like that again. I can get the image out of Jeremy's just smiling directly into the camera out of my mind. It was the creepiest look I've ever seen on another human being's face. Anyway, I'm gonna try and get some last minute sleep before I have to go in and deal with this. I'll let you guys know what happens. Update, 2:49 p.m. Updating from my phone. Apologies and advice for errors. My boss just finished watching the last of the tapes. I told him what to expect, but you really can't prepare someone for something like that. He's scared shitless. I still am too. And Jeremy's due to come in at 4. We got a little over an hour to get our shit together, but neither one of us what to say to him. Is he just a fucked up guy who likes to steal motor oil and scare the shit out of people? Or is he something else? I don't know if this is crazy, but does anyone think he could have anything to do with that time loop? My boss said he never noticed anything like that in the other tapes, but the way he popped up in that one made me think he knew I would be watching. It's like he watched me to see what he could do, like he was showing off or something. The way he smiled into the camera was like a little kid showing a sandcastle that just built or something. I don't know, I probably sound crazy. I sure feel the part. I'm going to talk to my boss some more. We have to calm ourselves down and figure out how to handle this. I'll update again tonight, but I have a really bad feeling about how this is going to play out. Update, 4:33 p.m. No sign of Jeremy. Tried calling him, but his phone's been disconnected. We're calling the police. Update, 5:33 p.m. No sign of Jeremy. Tried calling him, but his phone been disconnected. We're calling the police. Update, no sign of 6:33. No sign of Jeremy. Tried calling him, but his phone has been disconnected. We're calling the police. Update, 7:33 p.m. No sign of Jeremy. Tried calling him, but his phone has been disconnected. We're calling the police. Update, 8:33. No sign of Jeremy. Tried calling him, but his phone has been disconnected. We're calling the police. Update, 10:58 p.m. Holy shit. I just got home and saw my previous updates. Things make less sense now than ever. Here what I can tell you. I went to work, Jeremy never showed up. My boss and I decided to call the police, and we're aware when I picked up the phone to call the sun went out. I shit you not. That's what I thought happened. Apparently I blinked out for exactly 5 hours, because when I looked at the clock it was 9:33, and I think I got stuck in Jeremy's time loop. And then I snapped out of it. At exact point, I blinked out. If that makes sense, but that when things got really weird. My boss was right next to me when I blanked out, ready to comfort my story to the cops. When I came to, the phone was in my hand, but it was dead. Not even a dial tone, but my boss was still right there. But he wasn't moving. He was standing, but frozen. I looked at the clock again. It wasn't moving. The second hand was struck. Wasn't moving. The second hand was struck on 12. It was 9:33 exactly. The clock was in the register. Wasn't moving either. The computer screen wasn't moving either. My phone was frozen. There was not even a customer at the register waiting for my boss to get him cigarettes. Him betting that it would have been his 5th pack of the day. I got the fuck out of there. Didn't lock up. Didn't turn the light off. And sorry guys, I didn't get the security tapes to to upload to the internet. Believe me, that was the last night on my mind. The gas station is on a major highway. The cars were parked all along, except they weren't parked. They were frozen. The people inside were sitting still as wax statues. I got in my car and prayed that it would start. Thankfully, it did. About halfway home, time started up again. The static from the radio turned into music like it's supposed to be, and from what I could tell by listening to the host talk in between songs, no one noticed the time freeze, or whatever it was. I was the only one. Well, I'm sure Jeremy noticed as well. I still have no clue where he is or what he's doing. I'm hiding in my room and calling the police in the room. In the morning, I don't know if I could ever talk to them before, or if I did, whether they looked me serious. I'm scared of my life at this point. I'll update tomorrow if I can. Final update, 10:33 a.m. I finally fell asleep last night around 4. I have no idea how I did it. I guess exhaustion finally got the best of me this morning. I woke up to my phone ringing. It was my boss. He's been calling me since about 6. He woke up when the time turned back on last night, and immediately he called the cops.
Did you reach Jeremy yet?
No, I haven't reached Jeremy yet. Came by to see what was wrong, and he told them everything. The police around here are the small time guys. They were more considerate with the missing motor oil than anything, but my boss figured would take it as long as he had their attention. They decided to go looking for Jeremy. We keep all our employees' applications on file, and since Jeremy's just started working here, his was easy to find. They checked the address on it and headed over to this house. You're not gonna believe what they found. The address Jeremy lived on this application was an empty lot, or at least now it is. There used to be a house there, but it burned down in 1993. Being a small town, almost everyone remembers that fire. A family of 4 used to live there way back then. Rumor has it that they had estranged son who they never really talked about. But I can't say for sure if that's true. What I can say is true that after insurance evaluation that the fire was ruled on arson. The entire house was soaked in oil. The torch was a Molotov cocktail. The entire family was sleeping when it happened. None of them survived. They never caught the guy who did it. Rumor has it that when they tried to contact the estranged son, no one could find him. Anyway, my boss called and told me this, and I freaked out. Then he asked me to come to the gas station. I mean, are you crazy? I said, but he assured me that the cops were there with him. Then he dropped a bomb. The FBI were also in town, and they were going to talk to me one way or another, so I might as well come in. It was about 7:15, and I wanted to go back to bed, but I figured I wouldn't be able to sleep much more anyway, so I went down. 4 men in suits greeted me and told me to have a seat. He went over everything 2 or 3 times until they got all the details down. I told them about Jeremy, the security tapes last night at work, everything. Finally, after I finished, one of the agents said, "Oh, Christ, we got another one in our hands." Then they made me sign a bunch of papers saying I wouldn't tell anyone about what happened, so I can't say much more. I might be breaking the law just by posting this. So now I'm home. I'm not sure what to do with myself. That agent's words when I told him the story are going to haunt me for the rest of my life. Anyway, I gotta go. I have some errands to run today. That agent, and then I have to go to work to pick up some tapes. My boss and I think this new guy Jeremy has a complete creep, is stealing motor oil, and I have to watch the security tapes to see if I can catch him doing it again. I have better things to do, but my boss is paying me overtime under the table, so I'm trying to save up for a vacation. So could really use the money. It should be pretty simple. The oil always goes missing after his shifts. I figure I watch the tapes to catch him in the act, and that will be that. Hey guys, thanks for watching the new video. I really appreciate all y'all support on my channel. I really appreciate so much. You guys are the best. Special thanks to Zach the Sodas guy who voices the boss in this video. Subscribe to his channel, link in the description. And if you guys new, subscribe please. And you guys, again, thank y'all for supporting my channel. I really support y'all so much, which is why I'm gonna support y'all more often with these videos. If you love them, I'll keep making them. More videos will be coming soon. A new live series is coming next video, guys, so be prepared for that. Back to My Little Pony Clock Fix, yeah. So, yeah, I'll see you guys next video. Bye. See you later.